what's gonna happen? Alright, this thing, hold on.
Oh, really? Because we're live right now. First 3 seconds
Perfect.
of our first fucking episode. Holy
Let's
shit. Welcome, everybody, to Xclude. My name is Eric Bosquez, aka DJ Xclude. And before I go on with my guest, just to give you a heads up, y'all, about what this first episode of this podcast is about, I basically have a lot of DJ buddies. I'm a DJ myself, in case you didn't know already. And I really wanted to kind of promote and showcase my buddies who are DJs as well, not just for promotion purposes, not just for Instagram or Facebook. But I really wanted to get to know my buddies a little bit better, musically, just as friends. You know, just have a fucking casual conversation about music and about what's going on in their lives and what's going on in my life just as well, and just kind of just exchange talk right now. The guest to my right of me, his name is Cody Woodwidge, aka Kozii. Okay.
Yeah.
And there he is right there.
Yeah.
And he loves his bass house. DJ, producer, good buddy of mine. And since this is my first episode, I just really want to showcase the talent that I know. And hopefully this is just the beginning of something profitable, something fun, something amazing within your career, within your lifestyle, within this whole music thing, within this whole music gig. And even if we don't happen to make it as like big superstars or whatever, we're just living in the moment. We're just having fun. It's two guys in the mic in a room, and we just go see how this shit goes, really. Okay, Cody, first fucking question. Mic check real quick.
Mike 1 2, what's up?
What's up, man? So we met at Labyrinth, right, in Westchester and Sprout.
Westchester Sprout, yep, Labyrinth, the Labyrinth event.
That was a good fucking party, though. Do you remember anything from that night?
Yeah, I didn't remember the whole night. What do you mean?
You had what shirt did you have on that one night? That caught my attention. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm pretty sure it was a Hawaiian shirt that I had on that night.
Was it a Hawaiian shirt, or was it like it was like a black long sleeve with like coat with like your logo on it?
If it wasn't Hawaiian, which I really think it was, if it wasn't that,
flying Hawaiian like fucking McLovin.
Yeah, it would have been just a long black shirt with some sort of white pattern on the front, you know.
Gotcha. Well, whatever it was, it caught my attention. And I was like, who's this guy? And I wanted to really get to know this guy because I was at the party. I didn't really know too many people. At the time, I was living, I believe I was living in Philly. And this, I think, was my like second or third Labyrinth party. Shout out to Dale. Shout out to Brian Shiny. Shout out
Dale.
to Brian. Shout out to Kozii right now, of course. But it was definitely a good night, but I think at the time I didn't know too many people. I was like, who's this cat? And we just fell into like a conversation. Oh, you like a bass house, whatever. You're a DJ. Hey, I'm a DJ just as well. Let's link up. Just because we're kind of geographically, we're kind of close to each other.
Hell yeah.
It's not too far a drive from me to you.
25 minutes?
Give
max?
or take. Yeah, max, give or take. And we had a nice conversation at the bar, and we just took it off from there. We took off from there, and now we're here. My question, and one other question now, what? There's going to be a lot of fucking questions.
Bring it on, brother.
Anyway, like, I know you're a bass house head, but what were you doing at a Labyrinth party with all these techno heads?
Honestly, I group the house music family as a whole, whether we're bass house or techno. You know, I know everybody has their own genre. Some people don't see it like that. But really, what it came down to is I wanted to go out that night, and there was never really good house music events that I saw in my area, or really in Philly where I was, because I was in Philly.
Gotcha.
So then I was like, you know what, I'll travel out here, go out here. You know, I actually remember.
Right.
I was on my way, and dude, my sole of my shoe literally was falling off that night. Like something happened. I had purple shoes on. That was the thing.
Purple shoes. That was shit. Yeah. So you had your purple shoes on.
Dude,
with your fucking Hawaiian shirt,
bro.
But it was all in the dark, so you couldn't really see shit. So it's like you could have won whatever, and I would have been in the same conversation.
well, I almost didn't go because I was like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'm gonna go walk in looking like homeless. Like, what is this? But instead,
Please.
went to good old Acme. Got myself some super glue. Bam, put it on. Next thing you know, we met each other. And we're here. Seriously, super glue saved some lives.
It saves the day. It's almost like Superman saves. I'm not too much in the comics, but you get the idea. But how did you first fall into music? What were like your musical influences? Was your family into music, and that's how you got into this whole thing, or
Honestly, I'll say I always did have a genuine, love for music, always from a kid, but it didn't really spark until I'd say once I graduated. I moved in with my brother.
Gotcha.
He got a good old tractor. Shout out to Native Instruments for being awesome, being high quality products, but very affordable for their guests and DJs. But yeah, so I was able to start DJing on his stuff, and I started falling into love with some like dubstep, some heavy bangers, and I went to my first underground event in Baltimore, and I'm not gonna say I was underage or above age or anything. It was all good times, but I'll never forget. I saw Rusko for the first time, and that was beautiful, dude. That really was what made me fall in love with music. So I saw how he performed, how high energy he had, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, this is something I could get into. So I started DJing. I was like, oh, this is pretty, getting success with it.
Right.
Whether it was just at the bar, in the beginning, it was just like bar stuff, so we had to play bar music.
bar music. Could I find that at Beatport? Bar music.
Yeah.
It's right next to techno. It's right in my base houses. Mellow techno. And then there's bar house. Yeah, whatever. Sure.
Bar house, bar music. No, but seriously, I don't know, man. That was what really started doing things, and then I started playing actual, house music events where I was just spinning straight house music, and that was like, wow, this is awesome. So much love into it. People were like shuffling, dancing around,
shuffling.
Dude, throwing stuff. I wish I could shuffle. Shoot, someone's got to teach me.
Well, if you have the shoes, I think you're halfway there, right? Those stupid light up shoes.
I mean, only if you're good enough.
Yeah. But
Right.
I guess if it's dark enough, people aren't looking at you. They're looking at the shoes, and it's fucking LEDs going off everywhere.
Right.
Let me know. Okay, so Brandon got you into this whole thing.
Yep. That was really that was the key. I'd say Brandon, my brother.
Gotcha. Now,
Which is sarcasm. Shout out to sarcasm.
there we go. Quick shout out to the brother, and also as well. Did it really start off with I know Brandon was an influence, but how long did it really take you to kind of find your own kind of groove? I know Brandon brought you into this whole thing, but up until what point he was like, okay, I kind of have a sense for what I'm doing and how to portray and how to work a crowd.
Well, there was a turning point where, I was rising with him, and then next thing you know, it was like we were pretty much competing, Yeah,
friendly competition.
Yep, and it was definitely friendly competition. It was like, all right, so it's competition time. So that I did a few events where it was not just house music. It was more like bass music, real heavy, like grimy stuff, and I came out with people not knowing what was gonna happen. And when I saw that turn over, I was like, all right, this is the point where I'm gonna start doing my own thing. So I just started doing my own thing, and I had influencers being like, listen, you're talented with the house music, just stick to the house, just do that for now, and then once you master that, then move on to your next genre, So I was like, oh, okay. So ended up the moving point was when him and I did not live together anymore. We were not in the same market, so that's when I started, we started pulling away from each other, being our markets and our crowds and stuff like that. And we were no longer as much as competition. And that's where, that was the point where I started to sling my own shit, my own stuff.
Started slinging your shit.
Yeah, I had to sling some shit.
At the back of your car.
Yep.
In the middle of the night. People knew where the spot was.
Yeah,
you handing out this mixtape as if it were crack. But anyway, yeah, that was good shit. What was I about to say? I'm losing my train of thought. Forgive me. This is only the first fucking episode. Where's my drink, by the way? I had the McDonald's. Yeah, there it is. I went to McDonald's beforehand just to grab something to eat.
Right there,
yeah,
right?
there it is.
OJ.
Grab a quick drink.
Slurp-a-derps. Back in it. And to win it.
Let's see what else.
No, but there's actually more to my family than just my brother. Deeper roots. My I want to say great uncle.
Okay.
His name's Tony Passauer. He's actually he passed away, but he's a really amazing guitarist and singer. He has his own track. It's called Ocean Highway. And yeah, if you look it up, like
That sounds very 80s. That sounds very sexy.
So it is so good. It's such a good track. It's really amazing. And it's got signed and everything. He's got his own CDs of it and everything.
So I guess it runs in the family to a degree.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it definitely runs in the family, like or at least the ball has been pushing in the family.
Okay, yeah,
know?
I got you. Very cool to hear. Now, how big is how big would you say the bass house kind of scene is down DC? It's certainly a scene, like with down in Soundcheck. I think maybe Echo Stage may have some events with like Rusco and artists like that. How big is it over there? You know more than me. I would like to think in that regard.
Yeah, it's definitely a big crowd out there, man. The house music scene in general, that umbrella in DC is it's huge, dude. It's very, very big, man. The biggest thing I want to say is that you know, they're really trying to keep that there. They're trying to keep pushing house music, just like Chicago's doing their thing, DC's doing their thing, New York's doing their thing. But the thing about DC is like the crowd and the scene itself is way more let's say forgiving. And more for like, you know, the small business.
Gotcha. It's not as, for lack of a better word, cutthroat. I guess to a degree, it's not. I guess it's not like if you were to live in New York, it's kind of like, oh, you have to think about your rent, but also as well think about you as an artist, and that's kind of the starving artist idea is kind of hard to balance, of course, and not just music. It could be just art. It could be it could be how fashion. It could be any number of things really, but just to put yourself out there as an artist, but still make a living is definitely a hard thing to come by these days. Because you have to be everywhere. You have to be on fucking social media. You gotta promote. You gotta produce. You gotta DJ. You gotta be there. This and that, and in order to juggle that, it's what we have to do these days. It's not like back when you could just be a DJ and you could be fine. Now it's just like now you have to be multifaceted. You have to be a Renaissance man to a degree, and I kind of miss that. I do kind of, even though I didn't grow up in that era, I just miss you having anybody having like a singular kind of purpose as far as music is concerned. Really just going full speed ahead with that, as opposed to today where you have to be, again, multifaceted.
No, I agree. I think
it'd be a lot less work.
Yeah.
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 If we all just work more.
It would be more you. You know, it would be more simple. I miss that shit.
Well, I feel like it's really a lot of people are just trying too hard, and they're not doing the right things. You know, they're like, oh, it's all about word of mouth promotion. We're all, you know, da da da, and it is, dude. It's all about word of mouth promotion. People aren't doing that.
Yeah, I feel that's what
I'm saying.
That's like the most real kind of like one-to-one kind of promotion that there is. I feel that's the most viable, despite all the tools that we have now. Because it's like, again, it's like me talking to you about this and spreading the word out. You know, exactly. that goes around, and it's very intimate. It's very one-to-one. It's almost like just talking to anybody on their phone, as opposed to texting or instant messaging, whatever. You miss that kind of dialogue, having that one-to-one, and I miss that. Kind of wish we could kind of go back in the day and relive those kind of promo days.
Well, we still can, man. I mean, just the other day I was out doing like my own hard street promo.
We were doing that for my little Search to Scale party that we did nearby UD, which hardly anybody knew about, but that was kind of the point of it anyway. It's like if you were a student, you know, if you happen to be anywhere near campus on that Sunday and happen to have some free time, and if you happen to be nearby the dorms, you probably heard us. Hopefully you did if you were just jogging along our little secret spot. And I whipped out my generator, the controller.
Whipped it out.
Well, yeah, I did whip it out. It was fucking huge. Did you see that shit? No, hopefully they did too. But whatever. I put it on Instagram, so they saw it too. But regardless, we had a good time. Good weather. Thankfully, it didn't rain.
Beautiful.
We didn't have a tent, and we were just blasting whatever we liked to feel like it, whatever music we felt like. I was playing like house and techno, and you were playing your bass house, and we just having a good time. Lauren was there. Shout out to Lauren, by the way.
Hey, Lauren. What's up, girl?
How long you and Lauren have been together now?
Lauren and I have been together.
Not putting you on the spot.
Bah, right on the pedestal. Now, her and I, it's been 6 years now.
6 years, man. That's longer than most jobs I've ever had.
God damn.
No, seriously. I wish I knew that kind of struggle and intimacy and I don't know how it is. I'm still single, for goodness sake. I went speed dating the other day. No lie.
Speed dating. He said, what's up, girl? See you, girl.
5 minutes in, next girl. But yeah, that was the funny. I went down to along Mark Street in this place called Sonesta Hotel, and I guess they have a hookup with My Cheeky Date, which is like
what is that?
It's like this hookup kind of company, I guess, for lack of a better phrase.
Whoa. You mean dating, not hooking up, right?
Well, they hook up the women, they hook up the men for the event. That's what I mean. They stage it. That's a better word. They stage everything for the potential single ladies and single men.
What?
And it was 5 minutes that you had with each woman. And after you had the little chit chat, you went on to the next one. Had a little scorecard, and it was like, okay, had your conversation, go on to the next one, and then by the end, once everything was said and done, it was like if you had a certain someone that you had in mind, you would write it down, and the company would give you email whether or not you're compatible or not. I ended up not getting anyone, but I felt I had a good conversation with like at least 3 women. And sadly, I guess they didn't like me for whatever reason, but I'll go back. It was definitely fun. Just toss back a few drinks, be loose.
Yeah.
Wear something nice. You got to put on an impression.
I could see that being awesome. I just, the struggle is a good struggle to have. It's also, takes time to build.
Okay. Gotcha.
You can't just go jumping in and be like, yeah, I want a long relationship. and it goes down because her and I went to school together, man. We grew up.
Oh, did you?
We all went to high school together. Like, the whole community.
Oh, there you go. You have that background.
Yeah, there was definitely background to it, We didn't date even in high school. It was like senior week that was like official, Usually when you're like raging, you're like, I'm going to senior week. I'm going about to go to talk to a bunch of girls and, go crazy. Nah, man. That was the week I chilled.
I'm a completely different person from what I was in high school. I definitely know myself. I want to see definitely a little bit more. I'm hoping it's the same thing for you, Kozii.
Hell, what you mean? I feel great. I feel good. I feel confident about what I'm doing,
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's see. Going back to the whole music thing. I gotta think of shit. What's your current setup as far as equipment is concerned? Like, what do you use? I know you use Tractor. Are you a big fan of Tractor? How long have you used it for? I'm not too familiar with it. I use Rekordbox primarily.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tractor. My current setup right now, honestly, what I do is I will take, if I want to play live, like I want to be push and play and queuing, I'm going to set up my Tractor S4. And I'm going to put my, my Tractor, my computer together, just throw it on the stereo and bam. But honestly, most of the time, I just pull up a Rekordbox and I just set my playlist up and go through, decide where I want to, play my songs and stuff and organize it all. And then, if I'm really like, I got to practice this, I'm not confident with this song, then I'll, go to the S4.
Okay, gotcha. And for me, I have my my Rekordbox DJ SX, is it? I'm looking right the fuck at it. Trying to look at the model name. Where is it? It is a RX. That's what I meant to say the first time around. But it's my little controller. We both know how to use CDJs and a Nexus mixer. It's just we can't afford the shit as much as we want to afford the shit. But we know buddies who have the shit, so we just borrow their shit and let the let the music play for whomever is willing to listen. And that's how we do it as DJs. But I'm not too much of a producer. Admittedly, I like to work with my hands. I kind of like to see a crowd and kind of interact with a crowd to a degree. And also just get a feel for knobs and not so much keyboard and a mouse pad. I know for production these days, it's almost mandatory for you to know like Ableton and also as well, let's say Reason and or whatever DAW software, Logic, whatever. And I'm just not so used to it. And the main the main thing is, other than those two, is it's just so tedious. Like you work like 4 hours or more just for like a minute and a half of song, and I just feel like until you until you compress everything and master it, it's worth it. But up until then, it's just like it's very you're kind of in at least in my head, you're kind of in the doldrums. It takes like it's very tedious, and I still have to build myself up for that. But thankfully, I do have a single out. Well, not out, but I've made one with a producer buddy of mine, and I really just want to get into the swing of things and just find my own sound. But how is your workflow like as far as production is concerned? Do you have like a certain like sound that you're searching for, or a certain kind of something to make a sound of a certain track? Or like, what are you looking for in terms of a beat or rhythm? Like, what gives you inspiration for that?
Honestly, what I do is I go through either let's see, from bass lines.
Not to give away anything.
Sorry, man. Everybody should learn. I'm such a new producer. I probably 4 years from now.
Yeah, and I'm such a new DJ just as well. I'm only been in the game for like, let's say, I don't know, like 3 years, give or take. But I know the hip hop DJs that I know, they've been in the game for like 20 plus. So it's like, yeah.
No, you just need for the production's behalf, like I'll pretty much for bass lines I'll use a 3 oscillator. Just a simple thing on FL Studio. If I really want to get into the bass line that's crazy, I'll take a serum and I'll figure out like some sort of real nice waveform to it, and then no white noise, fuck that for bass lines. You just figure out honestly which ones you want to do. If you want to put like a modulator to it, if you want to make it go like instead of your normal quarter beat, you can make quarter beat to half beat and make that like modulate that, or whatever they call it. I'm still new to that, but that's that. For like my synths and stuff, honestly, I'll go through trying to think of the 3 ones that I use. I use GMS, I'll use Serum, and I'll use I think it's Citrus. Yeah, Citrus. I'll use those 3, and Serum, what I'll do is, if I'm not trying to like find one of the ones and make my own waveform and like go into it and pick out a certain spot and like cut that and make that like the waveform that I'm trying to go for, and then expand on that, I'll pick apart another preset and like go through it, make my own gist
it's
onto
just
it.
a non-preset for example, and just link that to all the other elements in the track.
Yeah,
kind of sort of. Yeah,
I mean, like I'll just pick it apart and like it's there for a reason, man. Like you think masonry and all those, you don't think they didn't build their hands. You know what I'm saying? No, they use the tools that people gave them. Like that's a tool. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool, straight up. So use those tools. Like I don't believe in the one biggest thing I hate is when DJs use sync button. That's not a tool to use. That right there is cheating, and that's not okay. And but when you're producing, there are tools like grid snaps that are like sync almost, and they snaps your notes to an eighth or a quarter, and that's acceptable, because those tools help you to get onto it. Sometimes you don't want those,
right?
It's that breakbeat. So you you hold your good old shift or control and you drag it over, whatever you want to do, or
filter drop off.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much with it for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've always I've done that here and there, but as far as production is concerned, but I still have my drum machines. This is my loyal Roland TR8 and my TB3 and Roland JDXI synthesizer. And just like to mess around with that shit. I think that's so interesting. Being able to touch shit and mess around with the LFO and play with the oscillator and play with pitch and just like kind of experiment. And eventually you do find a sound, because even on the synthesizer, it does, on the JDXI, it does have presets that you can mess around with within the analog. It's like a half digital, half analog kind of like synth, and you can just kind of mess around with it from there and import it into your favorite DAW, whether it be Ableton or Recordbox. I mean, whether it be Ableton or Reason, etc., and just kind of play with that sound and just like figure out like where do you want to place it and how far it could take you within that particular track. But anyway, I'm talking out my ass a little bit, but
sorry.
But another thing too. Who are you listening to now? What like as far as like who you listen to now? Who's your artist?
Right now there's like a bunch of people that I'm really just starting to follow, just starting to find. So I really can't put my hand on one person in particular right now, which I'm gonna pull up my SoundCloud.
Yeah,
Try to go through some of my influences I've been going through. But
gotcha.
honestly, one label that I can give you the name of is Noir Blanc, and they're a French label. And to my understanding, Kozii is one of their biggest, I guess, artists to them.
Yeah.
He is again a French guy. He's young, just like us. He's killing the game over there. I'm actually so trying my hardest to get him to come here one day and play here in Philly. So maybe we'll get to see him. But Noir Blanc is a big label. Of course, Night Bass. I love Night Bass, especially their new tracks. It's just that wumpy, grimy house music. It's just like freaking so good. It's not. I mean, it's of course Boots and Cats. It's still that, but it's like the suppressed boot and the echoed cat. That sounds so awesome. Like it's just like there's so much good music's coming from them. But just give you a song from Noir Blanc that I have on my now playing, which I just was listening to in my car, is Hot Shit by it's spelled Jero.
Those freaking French guys.
So Jero. However, my man's killing it, dude. And Volak as well. Volak's a big label or a big artist, not label, artist that is now on Night Bass label, which is awesome. So.
Gotcha. Have you in your travels? I know you've been to Amsterdam. I know you've been to Germany, and so have I. And we'll go into the whole travel deal. But have you been to France? I haven't been to France yet.
No,
France
sir.
or Paris or I've also been to London as well. But I don't know. It seems I'm not sure that the whole like French stereotype really carries into, or at least from what I've heard from numerous other cats have been to, overseas over France. But yeah, out of all my travels, I've been to Germany. I've been to Berlin twice, London once, and Amsterdam once. And I'm kind of as far as like of course I feel in my perspective I feel Berlin is kind of like the party town, but it's also very much so the music town. I feel as far as travel is concerned, whenever you're gonna go anywhere traveling, you may read a guidebook or look up a YouTube video, be like, oh, here's our food, here's our architecture. Here's, places to be, but you never really hear too much about the music. I feel that tourism guides or whatever kind of like guide when you go overseas, they always miss the music somehow. They always miss the nightlife. And if they point you into some kind of direction with the nightlife, they may not play the music that you really like there. And I feel Berlin has like a lot of that. That was my favorite town, and you get a lot of big techno clubs like Berghain and Tresor, and also as well as like Watergate and all these other places. But it's a beautiful scene. From the times that you've been overseas, what would be like your favorite place that you've been to, Kozii? If you had to pick one, or
well, I've only gone overseas, technically overseas one time. Went over off this continent.
That's fine.
Once.
That's fine.
Went.
That's more than most people can say.
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome, man. I went to Amsterdam. Flew into Amsterdam. Let's say drive. Flew into Amsterdam.
I drove into Amsterdam.
Right,
I took my underground tunnel.
Yeah, it was awesome, epic. But then we took a train over to Germany, and then went back over to Amsterdam. Flew out there.
Yeah.
So out of the two places, I would have to say that my favorite, honestly, was Germany, because even though Germany was very, very big, it was very big. So like, when you're in Amsterdam, you're in this very tight-knit city, tight-knit.
Yeah. I mean,
Germany?
you could touch two walls if you spread your hands all the way out. Like that's like the wingspan of like the city.
It's crazy. It's definitely like everybody's all compact together. It's a big city though, but
yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
Everybody's together. But in Germany, it was not different. But the thing about in Germany, the party scene in Germany, that's the difference.
That's what makes it.
The party scene. See, the party scene in Amsterdam was more commercial. Everybody's trying to make big bucks at the club, and you can't do this. And if you walk in this club, you got a coat on, you must check it in. And coat check is $3, €3. Like just stupid stuff like that.
What time did you go in? What time did you go into Amsterdam? What month of the year?
I went in December.
December. Okay, so that was like right after ADE, which is Amsterdam dance event, which I went to when I was there during my first time. But yeah, I kind of felt that too a little bit. But granted, I was there during ADE in Amsterdam, and don't get me wrong, I had a great time. The track that was playing the most often was Martin Solveig, Intoxicated. That was the song. That was the song that was playing everywhere. And shout out to Martin Solveig. I do have some of his tracks. I still listen to him on occasion, even though primarily I'm listening to my techno and everything else. But I still got him in mind. He's a cool dude, at least from doing shows and this and that, from what I interpret him on when he's doing his big stage sets and like Ultra Miami, all this shit. But anyway, I kind of felt that too when I was in Amsterdam, just a little bit. Whereas Berlin's a little bit more underground, and London's just too pricey for me. London it just kind of is. With the exchange rate, the pound versus the dollar, it gets kind of pricey, but they do have their own clubs like Fabric, like Ministry of Sound. They've been there forever, and I feel the two places that make that city what it is, as well as XM. I can go on, but those I feel like the two main ones. If you want to hear like drum and bass, all other genres you don't quite hear too much in the US.
What's that?
Like 160 BPM, just going wild. It's cool.
Oh, dude, a lot of my friends like drum and bass. I'm right there with them. Even though my house head,
do you know those heads? The drum and bass head? Are they around here in the Mid-Atlantic area?
Yeah, bro. Really? Drum and bass scenes around here. There's drum and bass scene in DC. There's drum and bass scene, very big one in Philly. It's just kind of like
with Rainforest and everything else. Yeah, I think it's like every first or second Wednesday of the month out of the Barbary. That's becoming a thing for sure.
Left, right,
Shakedown just as well. Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually trying to get Alex, his name is, to come out for one of our former event one time.
Yeah, shout out to Alex if you're listening right now, if you happen to be. You know who you are. But keep pumping out drum bass, even though the crowd's progressing, but now we have our own night as far as drum bass is concerned. But keep pushing that, dude. Keep pushing that. Well, is there any other genres other than like bass house that you listen to? Other like kind of like stuff inspires you as far as like creativity is concerned. It could be anything. It could be art. It could be cars. It could be fucking reading something about somebody, or what kind of inspiration.
I mean, if we're talking musically,
it could be anything.
Anything. Honestly, love to garden. I'm a big gardener. Grow me some herbs, tomato plants, herbs, all the good stuff. Everything. I love.
We're in Maryland. It's legal.
Well, not
recreationally, I should say. Medically, we're getting there.
But yeah, dude, I honestly I like doing it traditional too. There's stories. Everybody's like, oh, how do I plant a plant? Like, what do you mean? Usually you dig a hole, but you don't just dig a hole in like a random piece of dirt. You got like fertilize that dirt, and usually what's fertilizer? Poop and scoops. There's bags of poop. Basic shit, dude. Honestly, exactly, bro. Just put that in your dirt early in the season. You get it all going. A little fly action. It's good, bro. That means you're getting compost in there. It's good stuff. But the most important thing about growing a garden is making sure that it's level. Because if it's not level, dude, the water's gonna.
That's the thing. You gotta keep it level. Well, what if you live on a hill or some shit? Then it's like no go.
I mean.
I guess it's an uphill battle.
I haven't come. Yeah, it really is. I haven't come across that yet. So I've seen plants growing off the side of the mountain. I'm like, dude, how do they do it? How do they freaking do it? But dude, if it's not level, and then if you don't have proper like draining to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, whew, you're gonna be swamping out. Water's just gonna be going everywhere. Like, oh man,
it's gonna be a mess.
It's gonna be a mess. Like, you definitely got proper draining, of course. You make sure plants, but level. I'm telling you.
But speaking of growing, I know that your coffee I heard that's a thing somehow.
What you mean, like infusion with it, or what do
Well,
you
no,
mean
I
in
heard you
general?
like you own like a little coffee brand,
Oh
like
yeah,
Kozii coffee kind of shit.
yeah. I haven't.
Is that a possible business venture? I know you're looking into that.
Oh, dude, I want to get this bad boy going. Next 6 months, off his feet, like go time. I have a few names. I'm not gonna drop them yet. You know,
Okay,
it's all
right.
it's all keeping
Secret
it
stuff,
real.
top secret.
Secret stuff. But long story short, I'm gonna specialize in Vietnamese iced coffee. So if you
Boom.
like some good,
Boom, Starbucks. Are you
strong-
listening?
Yeah, Starbucks.
Listen the
Stars,
fuck
you
up.
listening, bro? You better get smacked. I saw your sweet condensed
Oh,
shit you've been putting on
man.
there, and it
Oh,
ain't
man.
gonna fly when I get around. All right, seriously.
2022. Watch out.
2022. No, but for real, it's great alternative to like the sober people at events because you gotta get home and getting home at 2 a.m. That is tough.
Yeah.
If you have a long day.
Yes, and that for sure. I'll continue on.
Yeah, like, I mean, come on, you need an alternative, and like sometimes legally, I can get a little food truck going on, ride that bad boy around outside the venue, 1:30. Next thing you know, everybody's outside smoking their cigarettes, blah, blah, black and black and black all around, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Next thing you know, oh my God, coffee truck pulls up. Holy crap. Give out free samples. People love free samples. You say free, they're like, what?
Always.
Free's for me. Oh my God.
Right.
One for you, one for you. You don't get more unless you buy a cup. Boom.
Mhm.
They get the cup and they're like, wow, it's actually genuinely good coffee.
Mhm.
It's not just some guy trying to like rip us off. It's like, wow,
Right.
this is really strong coffee. I'm gonna be able to stay awake now.
I'll tell you what though, I gotta have my coffee in the morning. It's usually Wawa.
Me too.
Either I have Wawa's ground coffee, ground it up with like my little sweetener and my creamer, mix that all together and then it's a wrap. Or
it's a wrap.
it's a wrap. It's nice. It's nice to have in the morning. It wakes you up, kind of gets you ready for your day. It's almost like a morning routine. Sometimes I can just live without it, but sometimes, and the majority of the time, I gotta have it. Now, if it's not in the house, I go to Wawa, grab my little lunch for the day, and grab my coffee, of course, and set my way and go my separate ways from Wawa. But with coffee in general, it's either a morning thing or a late night thing for me. Or I'll take that back. It's a morning, late night, and/or early evening. I can't have it in the fucking afternoon. It's got to be hot.
Oh,
I
you
can't.
don't like cold coffee?
No, I don't.
Kinda
It's
cold
I'm
coffee?
I'm Puerto Rican, so it's like it's
I
got
just
to be
lost a
hot.
customer. I gotta figure that out. No, I understand. I
Sorry.
understand.
Yep.
It's all right. It's all right.
But I gotta have especially I feel like I need it whenever I'm leaving the party at 2 or 3 a.m.
Right.
and I
You get
need
the-
to
oh
drive
my
back to the
God.
house. And it's not really drinking and driving that gets me. Thankfully I never had a DUI or anything else.
Shut
but it's
up, Lord.
yeah. But I've been tired behind the wheel. I've fallen asleep behind the wheel, and the next thing I know, I was I knocked the guardrail, but thankfully I was okay in the vehicle. I was able to still drive home. It was still a little fender bender. There was some damage on my
Little dingy
these
dudes.
little dingy doos, on my Infiniti G20, my 99 Infiniti G20, which I used to
Oh.
have. I love that fucking car. Started up every time, had the exhaust in it, some semi-sticky rubber, and it was cool. I love that fucking car. But anyway, yeah, it's not really drink. It's more like falling asleep behind the wheel, and coffee definitely. I feel in that need, kind of wakes me up, keeps me going throughout the night, just to get me back home. And I've always felt that, if I didn't have my coffee, something might happen. But there's been some times when I didn't have my coffee and everything was okay. So it's just kind of how you feel at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And when everything settles down, when the music turns down, when your friends go home, I feel that it's kind of almost like survival mode. Just get yourself back in one piece, and hopefully till the next day.
Well, believe it or not, caffeine technically accelerates your system, and it accelerates your everything about your system. Whether
It accelerates
you're
your system.
you're flushing yourself.
Like
It accelerates that. So if you're drunk, you start drinking caffeine, you're gonna start metabolizing, even though your water and everything exactly your blood alcohol is not gonna get lower, whatnot. But you're gonna start metabolizing everything else very fast, and it's gonna make you feel probably sober, even though your blood might not be different.
Right.
Mentally, those people are gonna be different. And just in general, the coffee makes you feel good and happy.
Yeah, it makes you feel.
Cozy,
It makes you feel cozy coffee.
Yeah,
there you go. Shameless plug. But I've tried listening to music loud. Having the AC on cold blast. Putting the window down. But it's usually coffee usually does the trick for me, or just just pulling over and having a quick nap. It's like a
quick little nap.
Yeah, like 30 pull over.
Man.
Well, it's not comfortable just sleeping in the car. It's not. Ask all the homeless people in California; they tell you straight out. But I kind of adjust for the night, but at the same time, I'm in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, I gotta have to dress warm because most likely I'm not gonna have any place to stay tonight. So I kind of put that in the back of my head sometimes whenever I kind of conceive an outfit for the middle of the night, wherever that might lead me. But yeah, anything else you want? Do you have any questions for me by chance? I'm trying to think of any. I should have wrote this shit down, but I was like, oh, you got time today? I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll come record. Yeah.
My biggest question to you is, what is the goal of the podcast? I know you told me you want to, share the experiences of your friends, and what ways are you gonna keep the progression? Like, do you plan on maybe making like cover art for it or something like?
I just really want to keep this going. I've always had an interest in journalism to a degree.
That's awesome.
And I always wanted to push the prerogative of the DJ as well as the promoter, the club owner, and kind of push our scene as having a spotlight onto it to a degree. Because I know there's great artists and great producers and everything else here in the Mid-Atlantic region, Philly, DC, Delaware, Maryland, etc. I just want to put that in the limelight because we have RA Exchange, which is Resident Advisor Exchange, which they profile artists and stuff like that, and put them into a kind of interview, kind of casual kind of situation, and they basically have an interview with them because there's so many mixtapes out there, there's so much music out there that's unless you see the artist live, you don't really have a feel for what they are in real life to a degree. And I always want to get down to that, but just do it in a kind of casual, funny kind of way, and just kind of you see where it takes me in that sort of sense. And if the artist and whatever guests I have can promote themselves in the process and have a good time, I'm all for that. I don't care how long it takes, as long as it keeps me kind of busy and on track. Hopefully keeps them busy as well in a good way.
Now you said it'll be SoundCloud is where you're gonna be putting it, right?
Most likely it's gonna be SoundCloud or Audio Boom. I'm kind of debating where at this point, but most likely it's gonna be SoundCloud. It could be Mixcloud as well. I'll post this up on Facebook as well as Instagram. As far as where you can find a link to where this podcast can be.
Nice.
Very true. So you have the switching gears literally. You still got the Mazda 6, right? How many Mazdas does that thing have?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Your Mazda 6?
How many gears is it?
No. How many miles does that thing have?
Oh. I know over 100. I would say probably 130, 120, 120.
Gotcha. For the G20, I used to have that. I traded it in at 160, and that still could have kept going with the amount of time maintenance I put into that thing. It still could have kept going, but the thing is, though, it had a little bit of rust on the driver's side rear quarter panel, and I was like, do I really want to dump this much more money into it? As cool as a car it was, yeah, I just had to let it go. At the same time, right now, currently, I'm in welding school, and I took out a loan for that, thinking I had to pay it, and then turns out a couple weeks later, after I did my initial tour of the school, and they were like, "Oh, you don't have to pay," but I'm like, I already took out the fucking loan. What do you mean? So it's what do I do with X amount of money? So I was like, buy a new car. Guess sure, fuck it.
There you go.
And I got my trusty. So far,
no, that's nice.
Volkswagen Jetta Sportwagon 2011 the R line edition. It's not the R edition. It's the R line edition. There's a difference. It's not doesn't have that much horsepower. It's a 5-cylinder though. When it was new, it was like 170 horsepower, give or take. Yeah, I do geek out on the cars. I do like cars. So if you ever catch me talking about cars, just forgive me. It's not music shit, but whatever.
It's all right.
It makes music. It makes good sound.
There you go.
Even though it's got a cat and everything else.
Record those bad boys, throwing electronics.
I got 18s on this bitch. Going strong. But it's so far it's been treating me well. Yeah, it's a little bit on the pricey side considering it's a Vito, but I don't really care. It's been doing me good, and considering my little side jobs with Amazon, I gotta travel everywhere to people's houses and deliver packages and all that kind of shit. So it 111,000 miles so far, going strong. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been treating me well.
I love it. I love Volkswagens. No, but just going back to the whole, I want to give a little more background behind Kozii, if you're okay with that.
Go.
So, we actually.
How did you get the fucking name?
Oh,
What was
We'll
what was
get all the way
yeah?
back.
What was the inspiration behind that?
So my parents used to call, actually my family used to call me Kozii Cody,
Okay.
way back, and that was my name, Kozii Cody, for a while in my beginning DJ years, and then I actually was like, I don't like Cody in there at all. I gotta get it out, so I was like, just Kozii. I'm like, Kozii is nice. It's got a nice little ring to it. Looks nice, But the spelling of it was a little hairy. Cozy was already taken. And that's how it was spelled, Kozii, Cody. Normal. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I figured out Kozii. That was already taken. Kozii wasn't bought. So I was like,
Right.
that's mine. That's mine now. And scripted up. Now it's that. And like I don't have the trademark logo trademarked, but
Right.
like the domain online is owned by myself. So technically, like somebody
Nice.
wants to be like legally taking me to court, I have some paperwork showing like I bought that domain.
How does the paperwork work? How does that work?
Well, like I'm not
Remember.
100% sure, but I do know that if you get sued, like say some other Kozii in other countries, like, well, I produced 20 years ago, and I made 10 grand when I was producing, and then I'm like,
I made $1 million. That's why. No.
10 years later, yeah, I'm like, hey, well, I'm trying, and then the next thing you know, he sees that I'm making money. He could be like, yeah, I own this. I own that name. That's mine now. But because I began in the beginning, and then
Right.
you're like, no, you haven't produced in this many years. I've owned the domain, the name for this many years. Like I'm current and relevant. So it's almost like that's what I have to pay. I've looked up through it. That's why I bought that name because a lot of people they don't own their domain name online. They don't.
Right.
Like
I don't.
.com?
I
No,
don't.
Like
Yeah.
in general, like if you're like Kozii.com, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't own that shit. Like they're just like,
Right. They don't
Hey.
own mark and trade it and
Hey.
trademark it. All this shit. Yeah.
yeah.
It takes I feel a little bit of money, but regardless,
Definitely.
if I feel if you want to take yourself seriously, get yourself covered
Definitely.
in that regard.
Definitely.
So flipping the script, how did I come up with the name Xclude? My DJ Xclude. It was like, let's say, I want to say like 2012, give or take. At the time, I was trying to find myself like sexually. I was going out to a lot of the gay clubs.
Woo!
It was fun fucking time. They
That's
don't care.
good.
I fucking love it. But I was going to like Eye Candy and Woody's and Warrior. And I kept going out and trying to find myself. But what I was noticing is that the DJs were kind of playing a lot of the tracks that I've already heard before, whether it be on the radio or through YouTube or whatever. But then I was finding all these different tracks that I felt the DJ should have played that wasn't getting any kind of attention.
Hey.
And in that sense, I felt excluded. I felt like distant. Even though I liked what the DJ was playing, it was cool, but it was like, there's more shit than just like Drake and like the new Martin Solveig and Calvin Harris. There's more shit to that. But the people like that. That's the thing. The crowd loves that shit. And as a DJ, you kind of have to play to them to a regard, but yet put yourself a little bit out there. You always want to find that balance. Yeah, you want to play what's out there, but you want to play what they don't know.
True.
Because if you play what they don't know, it kind of makes the night. If you play it in the right way, in the right tempo, in the right mood. I feel depending on the night.
Definitely. You gotta play to your set time, right?
You got to play your set and you got to play yourself. and move on to the next DJ, however long the event's going to be. Let's see. Now, what else? Been to any parties recently that that you feel have been like wow kind of party, or like
I mean, Celine Orlando was wow.
Oh yeah.
LA was pretty cool too. Coming up though, we got Hyperfest. That's in like 4 days, man.
That's right around the fucking corner, Virginia.
360 miles away. We're gonna be taking Virginia Raceway. We're gonna be playing. I think it's like 12 a.m. to 1 a.m.
2-day event.
Friday night is 2-day event. Yep. And then the next week, good old. Well, first of all, I'm actually Sarcasm is Impulse, and he's actually gonna be pushing myself.
Oh, those
which I'm gonna push myself.
That shit confuses me.
Yeah. He said, I'm going to be up in Philly as Impulse. So I'll be like Impulse Philly, Brandon's Impulse DC.
And you got Mirror as well, so that's your little side.
Mirror's super side. That Mirror hasn't even been active over
secret stuff.
now. That's some secret shit right there, dude. No one even knows. No one knows. Anyways, and then my buddies we got Curvis and Reboot as some Philly collectives. But next week we're going out. I think you just like the post, but We Are Nuts is flying in to New York.
Yep.
He is a bassline artist from Germany, and owns his own like pretty much promo company / like advertisement marketing agency called 1,000 Bass, or 100% Bass. Excuse me, 100% Bass. And he'll be over here next week. So, Wednesday, New York City. Thursday, Breaky Poos. Yeah. Friday, Westchester. Saturday, Philadelphia.
Boom.
And
if you happen in the area for any one of those events, just let Kozii know. Just support the guys, support local talent and all this other shit. Because it's like if you are in the music scene, if you happen to know these guys will give you a helping hand. And I'm a testament, at least from what Cody has done for me and for what I've done to him.
Man.
As far as music is concerned, everything else.
No bull crap,
Right.
You're not sitting there being like, yeah, your mixes are awesome, or the whole time. Like, it's all about constructive criticism. It's all about learning from each other and like teaching each other, and that's how you make each other better. Because, dude, somebody told me this at my work right now, and he said the good bosses, they don't hold your hand the whole time.
Yeah, that's real shit. Well, in my case, never really hold my hand at any time. Even though we have our good moments, we have our bad moments, but it's like I wish that, even though I'm a coworker with you, I kind of wish we kind of would have at least gone out to the bar at least once.
Well,
that was my kind of struggle.
I'm not saying that's different. That's different. What I'm saying, like, that's like personal to business life. But I'm saying, like, your boss was like got on your level with you, and he was like in the pit with you.
Right.
Like a little bit,
yeah. The struggle was there.
The
struggle was there, and he didn't have to hold your hand for it, but it was like you were in it for the ride. You were both in it for the ride to a degree,
Mm-hmm. But if they hold your hand the whole time, when you go to do it yourself, you're just gonna fall on your face, and then you get fired. So that's not a good boss.
Yeah.
That's what not good bosses do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But when the company that I was working for 4 years goes out of business, store closing, all this other shit for like X amount of years, it's like fuck, like am I really making an impact? Like, will I ever get like bonuses or whatever? Even though I like my job, it's like, oh God, it's a little bit of a struggle. So that's why I'm in school now for welding. So hopefully that will take me on a better path, a more profitable path, hopefully, just as well.
Yeah, definitely. Welding.
Yeah, under the helmet, a lot of heat. It's dirty. I like working with my hands.
Dude,
I'm a DJ. I spin turntables. I twist knobs. I like working on my bike. I like working on the car. I like getting my hands dirty. I don't mind it. And these days, like, with everything being digital, it's kind of like counterintuitive to kind of work with your hands. Like, oh, I can't even assemble this like shit from IKEA. That I can't assemble. Oh, like I'm just imagining this shit. Like, oh, I can't, even fucking assemble this like bookshelf from IKEA. Oh, and then we just call this guy and pay him. Like, it's got fucking instructions. It's like, dude, you fucked yourself.
Everybody does their own thing. Some people were like, oh, they got very high views. They're like, yeah, we got money, we can just do it. I'm a hands-on person too. I like to do my own my own thing, you know.
Right.
Be your own king.
King Kozii.
King Kozii.
Speaking for himself.
Oh yeah, man. Honestly, that's another thing. I can be. I might brand myself as King Kozii very soon. That's something that's a real thought, you know. Honestly, but I don't.
It's on your SoundCloud.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a halfway
King
approach,
Kozii.
you know. Yep, it's a halfway approach right now. It's kind of like it's testing the waters, seeing what's good. You know, also trying to figure out get my music out there a little farther so that I have more say when it comes time to really try and compete for that name of Kozii.
Well, for the listeners that are listening right now, you do have your own like name on your shirt. It says Kozii right on the fucking right on your like left hand corner.
Well,
it's right there.
This is a Curvis Collective shirt, you know. So we in Curvis Collective there's 3 owners.
Oh yeah, you got the shirts out.
Yep.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I have a personal Kozii shirt right here, a little Kozii.
Boom.
Curvis Collective shirt on the left sleeve.
Gotta
you guys
represent.
Yeah, got to, man. It's real shit, real stuff out here in this, you know, in the area.
You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta make the stickers. You gotta, make those posters, make those shirts.
It's a comfortable shirt. I love
it. It's a Kozii shirt. It's a Kozii shirt. No, it's not comfortable. It's cozy.
It's cozy. It feels great.
Kozii clothing.
So
coming to you soon.
Yeah.
H&M.
Yep. Here it comes. You're gonna be seeing me on Shark Tank with some awesome idea. You're like, what the?
Yep.
Hell?
You gonna team it up with Dave Beckham.
Let's go.
Premier League, all that shit. Adidas. Yo, you working on the Adidas collabo?
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Could be.
Oh man, have you been catching up? I'm not too big of a sports fan, but Sixers, how they do? I missed the game last night.
Honestly, I don't really watch basketball.
I'm not so much into basketball either,
baseball,
but they're like on the cusp of being at the playoffs, and it's like everybody else is talking about them. So I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon. I'm more of like a Phillies kind of fan, on and off. But like I'm sick and true to myself. I do like cycling. I like riding my fucking bike, like fucking Lance Armstrong, that kind of shit. And also on the mountain bike just as well. But Formula One. Also, I like that motorsport. But the thing is, like with Formula One, you have to wake up like way fucking early in the morning, like 6 a.m., like just to catch a show. Because with F1, they fly over the fucking world and go to different various racetracks. So it's like it's like they go to multiple time zones throughout this whole fucking season. They could be in Monaco one day, and then they could be in Japan, and then they could be in Dubai. So it's like you gotta fucking either wake up super early or like stay up super late just to catch a race. And it's like only 40 laps. It's only 40 laps, give or take, 40, 60 laps, but it's well worth the time. I always like that kind of fascination with motorsport just as well. I like messing around with gears and stuff like that, and just with the technology and the budgets that they have, it's limitless. It's like if you think playing golf, which I did try for a period of time, was like expensive, or the crowd that the golf kind of circles. If you think those guys are like kind of like rich, you don't know what F1 is. At least what I've seen from various documentaries about being in the pits. It takes fucking like millions of dollars just to fucking run an F1 team. I can't. It's just amazing shit what they could do, and pushing engineering, pushing limits as far as technology is concerned. This is amazing shit.
Man. Oh, those guys are talented, but if you think you're above anybody else, you're wrong.
Right.
Because I don't like those people. That's not cool.
You can only be the fastest for a very short amount of time.
We're all human.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you can fly a plane, or you can count coins, or you can DJ really well, or you can build a house, or like we're all human. Like, cut some slack to people if they can't learn properly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are they're just too cocky. And there's people, they eat shit in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They might live a great life, but dude, in the very, very end, they eat shit. So it's like, it's whatever. You know?
Yeah, those cocky motherfuckers, it's like.
Well, not everybody is like that, I'm just saying in general, the people that are like that, I don't think it's right, because some people are born into money, and some people aren't, so.
Yeah, I get you. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Forgive me, folks, for kind of blanking out, but it's like I didn't write anything down. I should have now looking into the fucking podcast, but now I'm just kind of like spitballing a little bit, so forgive me.
We've been in here for what, 45 minutes at least?
Give or take, yeah.
So
Give or take,
we got
it's
some
been
content.
nice. We got. Oh no, for sure we got content. Did you go to the iron furnace thing that was in Philly?
The steel
The
furnace.
steel furnace, yeah.
I actually didn't go to the steel furnace, but Curvis Collective did go to the steel furnace.
Yes, they did. They're getting looks like a lot of attention.
Yeah.
They keep blasting this shit on fucking Instagram.
News, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
We made the
news.
news.
Yeah, it's news.
Straight
yeah.
up.
What were they playing?
House music.
Oh no shit.
Drum and bass.
A lot of people there from what I saw.
Total, dude.
Oh,
it was
shit.
like at least 400 people. At least, dude. Like, there was so many
Good
people.
little crowd over a letter that just was going around Fishtown. It looks like.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it hit Fishtown, it hit Reddit. That's what really made it big.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah.
People still use Reddit?
Oh, yeah, we Reddit. Reddit's huge.
People
Huge.
like is Snapchat still huge? Is Snapchat still huge? I think it's like
Snapchat?
Yeah.
I don't use Snapchat, but I definitely see a lot of people doing it, all snap filters and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
this is shit that goes down on Snapchat.
Driving and snapping and everything. You're like, Jesus, come on, guy.
Is Pinterest still a thing too?
Yeah, I've been just,
For the wedding for the wedding DJs it is. For the wedding
I
DJs.
Pinterest. I like food Pinterest.
Gotcha. Is Flickr still around? You remember? Flickr was like before.
Flickr?
Flickr was
I don't
before
know
Instagram.
Flickr.
It's still going. That's like for like real photographers.
MySpace?
Maybe the
No, that's
MySpace is just doing music. That's all they're doing. They're just kind of like pushing the whole music thing
Really?
now. But
Wow.
I guess I haven't been on in years, and it's same thing for you.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to say? I want to see one DJ. It'll be like he has his music. He or she has his music, and they push themselves on like every single kind of multimedia platform that there is. Like, oh, catch me on Pinterest. Oh, catch me on Snapchat. Oh, catch me on Facebook. Oh, catch me on YouTube. Catch me outside. Catch me on like whatever failed or current like social media platform that there is. That's what I want to see. And just like see how far that goes. Like how far can you go before you're like, this is too much? Or like you have X amount of outsourcing or X amount of time or budget that you can really allot to all these different media platforms,
I mean, I wouldn't imagine it's that long until you're going to hit that point, We all balancing our life with it, with this. A lot of these big people don't control their own social media. They're outsourced,
Yeah, for sure. Do you think Facebook is going to go anywhere, or is it you think there's the next Facebook, or do you think, or is it like because Facebook has their fee in the stock market and everything else, so do you think it's
Facebook falls.
here to stay? You think?
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a crazy day. There's a lot of people rely on Facebook right now. Like
Too many.
Too many. Oh yeah. Businessly, like, so whole businesses are right on Facebook, but you can pay people with Facebook.
Yeah.
So you could literally run a business.
Can you get paid on
straight-
Instagram, by the way? I don't know if you can.
I don't know if you can either.
Because Facebook owns Instagram.
It's
The whole
true.
Silicon Valley kind of thing.
This is true. I don't know. It's a good point.
Wait, when you were in Cali, you were in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you ever kind of like at least pass by Silicon Valley, like all those like tech companies and all that, like Google and Facebook?
Yeah. We went by we went by I think it was either a Microsoft company or it was Google. It was like a main company, and we were like, holy crap, that is the big one. I don't remember the name, but yeah, we did go by some.
Gotcha. Because I read like I saw this on CBS News Sunday morning, I think, and they were highlighting the new building that Apple has. It's like entirely made out of glass.
Oh.
And it's like it's almost like you could fit like, I don't know, like 20,000 Apple employees in there. So it's huge. It's mammoth. I think it's somewhere in California. I'm not sure if it's built up, but it looks amazing from what the concept drawings are. And if you saw that, that's or at least some kind of part of it. That's amazing shit. I wish you could have saw that.
Oh yeah, I don't think we saw it.
Okay.
I would remember that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
we saw the Hollywood sign. We didn't really see too much more
Gotcha.
than like LA. Well, okay, so to all those people that don't know about LA, everybody's like LA. They hear, oh, I'm going to LA. They're like, oh my God, it's this huge, big area. LA.
Right.
No, LA is really not that big. Like LA.
Right.
Technically, it's like downtown LA is LA, and then around it, there's like all these little other spots. Like in LA, there's Korean Town, and like people think of Koreatown as Koreatown. Don't think of it as LA. Like down DTLA is what real people should be like. That is LA. But like next to DTLA or below it is Inglewood, and Inglewood's where we stayed, and then there's Santa Monica,
Riverside.
Yeah, whatever. There's a whole bunch
Compton,
of
B. I'm from Compton. I'm hard as shit.
No,
NWA, all that shit.
California's cool. You should definitely go out. People should go out in general.
I'm so dedicated to this fucking East Coast thing. I'm so like used to 4 seasons and the cold and all this bullshit. I'm not sure if I'll ever like Cali's like exotic enough in comparison to like the allure of like Germany and like going to Paris and whatever Mongolia. It's not as crazy for me. It's not as crazy as far as piquing interest in myself.
That's just money.
Yeah, for sure. But I'll definitely consider going to California. It's been on the mind. They have a nice car culture over there. So like just checking out what the local scene is as far as cars is concerned.
Drag racing.
Drag racing. Drag racing, show cars, lowriders, all that good stuff. Did you come across Skid Row by chance? Like the whole that's a big homeless population as far as Cali is concerned.
We didn't really
Hot
come
weather
across
24/7.
crazy amounts, but we did see the homeless people that people talked about.
Gotcha. Like living in the cars and their RVs, from what I've heard.
Honestly, a lot of them were just tenting on the side, and there was one guy that was like screaming and like laying on like a stack of wood actually with like a tarp over him, just screaming like crazy nonsense. I thought it was somebody like dying, and then we were like, "What is this?" And he was just like, drunk.
That's all crazy people. You go to Kensington and Philly, that's the same shit. Like,
oh my gosh,
I could to a degree, like needles everywhere and shit like that.
No, don't fall. Don't fall.
Watch your step.
Yeah, watch your step.
But I think from what I've been hearing on I think PhillyInsider.com. I forget what website, but anyway, I think Kensington is trying to like have like a safe stash like for like needles. Because they're like, there's so many, I guess, from the few times I've been there in town, that's like they're literally, I don't want to say everywhere, but you do have to watch your step, kind of in Kensington, especially at night.
Oh, nasty.
So they're thinking about implementing that program into the city, and I'm not sure if it's gonna really fall through, but I'm looking forward to it, because it's like they did that in Amsterdam. Like if you are kind of like the carrier, that good coffee shops. I'll tell you what, boy. You went to the hot box shit, like at the bus stop or something, like
What, the LA bus tour?
It was on your Instagram.
Yeah, LA bus. Oh well, we went to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
That in Amsterdam or in LA?
Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was coffee shop, what they call it, in quotation, and it's just a weed bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is. Literally, it's like just like a bar, but instead of alcohol, they have like fun flavored drinks and soda and weed, of course.
Yeah, but what was even more fun? Cause like I tried that weed when I was in Amsterdam, and I was like, I feel like it got me a little buzzed, but I'm like, I felt like I'm doing it the wrong way. I felt like I needed like a weed guide. Like if you were there, I would have been like, oh, yo, could you teach me a thing or two? Or Dude.
I mean, what'd you do? Buy a pre-roll and just went with it?
Yeah, I just bought like a €5 pre-roll.
Little €5.
Yeah, and just just went in the back and just had a smoke with some people that were there.
Like, hey, and they're like, oh, don't you mind? Like, oh, goodbye.
The red light, but the thing is, the red light district, I had way more fun though.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't even go there at all. Stayed away from that.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, can't be doing that.
Yeah, but I was all up in there.
I was in that bad boy.
Dude, when I was in the red light district, there was just like, I think it was like my third day there or some shit, and I was like, I got something to eat. I met with Dimitri Vice Guerrero. He is this artist from, he was working in Amsterdam at the time. Now he's residing in Italy. And he's like this minimal techno kind of guy, and he's making. I do have some of his tracks when I was there, and he does have his own. Shout out to Dimitri. He has his own profile on Beatport, and it makes some nice minimal kind of stuff. I do have, and I do play from time to time. It's kind of rare these days now for me playing techno in house, but I like to put him on blast right now. But I met up with him. And the next day, he invited me to the gallery, which was like this small little art house, like right outside of the big museum like district in Amsterdam. Like it's like
Van Gogh Museum, all like
yeah, right around there. Van Gogh Museum. That's an awesome place. If you're ever in Amsterdam, go check that out. But he invited me to the gallery, which is like this like little art space, and he had his turntable set up, and he was playing some of his tracks as well on wax, as well as some more minimal kind of groovy kind of stuff. And he had this guitarist with it's on my YouTube, Eric Bosquez. But I'm sorry, the Bosquez. That's the Bosquez. That's my name on YouTube. That's where you can catch me there. But I do have that recorded. It was a good time that I had spent with him though, and I'm glad I met him. But anyway, he worked at the time at this restaurant nearby the red light district. And third day, after I had my little dinner and little chat with Dimitri, there was this. I was walking down, and like there's this guy like floating in the fucking river. Like he's like drunk on his ass, just like floating in the river. Like his buddies are there, just egging him on. Like, oh, you gonna get out of the river anytime soon? No. And it just like egging him on. I'm like, man, get this guy like out of here. It's like it was wild.
Oh,
it was super
my gosh.
in the midst of everything going on, with all the strip clubs and the hookers everywhere and everything else.
When did you go? What time of the year? It was cold?
During October. It was during ADE. It was fun. It was blast though, but it's like prices are a little bit cheaper during that time of year anyway. So it was like I had to jump on it. I really did.
I would too. Screw it.
Yeah, why not? You went there. You thinking if you had the money, would you go there again?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
If I had the money, I'd be going tomorrow. Like I'd probably try and live in Amsterdam. It's great. I think it's a great city. There's a lot of networking opportunities, I think. Well,
from what I've heard, the rent is cheap. It's relatively cheap in Berlin, and I've always wondered how that works. How I've had
the way the government's there in Germany.
Like, how do you make the transfer? Like, if you are a U.S. citizen,
you apply for citizenship.
And you apply for citizenship. Okay. Get your visa. Maybe at least get your visa.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure you gotta get like a job going and like a reason of travel in there and a plan and all that good stuff. There's definitely hard migration laws like into Germany and Europe.
Gotcha. But it's like for me, it's like, oh, how do I like get all my fucking clothes in the suitcase? Like, how do I get my own closet? Like, how do I fit my bikes?
Boat.
Is that like that?
Yeah,
like, I guess bring like a bunch of suitcases with you, a bunch of luggage and shit.
You might technically, if you're really trying to do a serious move and you want to keep stuff, like they're gonna put it in a shipping crate and ship that bitch on a boat.
Like pods, that kind of deal.
The big metal crates.
Oh, like an actual shipping container.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They're gonna rent one of those bad boys on a boat essentially, and you're gonna fill all your shit in there, or like hire a service to go fit all your shit in there, and like that will be shipped to a location that you'll then get unloaded, and then to a truck, and then to your house of new said place.
Gotcha. It would be cool to live in a shipping container. Like if you modify, I've been seeing that on YouTube. Like if you lived like and made it a home into a shipping container, and like set it aside like somewhere in the forest, like have windows, have like plumbing, have AC, have a little bed.
Wouldn't be bad little setup.
Badass. Like
free little house.
I've always thought of doing that as like kind of like half house, half black club. Like I have 2 shipping containers, right? I'm just spitballing, but I've thought about this. Like have your house as 1 shipping container, and maybe split that other shipping container in a way, and just like put all this audio gear, put all these speakers in it, put all the subs in it. Have like a Nexus 2000 in there, have some lighting, and have like a small like intimate club, like a 30-person kind of club.
In a shipping container?
Yeah, that'd be badass.
30 people in a
That'd
shipping
be
container?
badass.
How big of a shipping
It'd be
container
hot.
Are you thinking?
It would be hot.
Yeah. Some slave shit at that level.
Low ceiling. Come on, it would be awesome. It would low ceilings, and then
DJ booth being the shipping container would be dope. That would be dope,
Okay, I could say. Okay,
maybe like
that.
the open front, like opens up, like drops down, and then everyone's like, the DJ,
Gotcha.
or something. You know what I'm saying? shipping container DJ, and it would be so mobile too. You'd be like, "Yeah, we're taking our next party here." Everyone's like, "There's the booth. We see it. Look it up." You're like, "Nope, VIP. We want no drunk people in here spilling drinks on our equipment."
Maybe have people on top, like on the roof of the fucking like shipping container. That'd be hot.
We're like, "Yeah,
I can see that on Instagram. That'd be hot though. That'd be real hot. Yeah. But you know what? You know what would be missing from that space though, and what I'm seeing that's missing in most clubs these days, is just having a chill room.
Yeah.
Like you listen to the music, you dance your ass off, you have a drink at the bar, but it's like, where do you have? Is there like a dedicated space to chill? Like there was that in Fabric. They had like a chill lounge when I was over in London. They had like couches.
Has places like that, but not every place has a little front area.
I'm tired of fucking seeing VIP and all this other shit. Like I just wanted to be primarily about the music, and not really about look whom I'm with, but just have a good DJ playing, and just have decent lighting, and just for you to have a good time, and kind of keep it basic. And if you kind of want to go all night. Technical difficulties. A little bit.
Aliens?
What was that?
Aliens are happening right now. All right.
Oh, no, I think we're good.
All right. No more aliens.
Okay, I think you just tapped the control like you would like an old TV, and just just hit it. I think we're good now. We're rocking the headphones right now. I got my Bloop headphones. I think you have your HyperX ones.
Moving through.
Yeah.
Moving through.
But yeah, going back to chill rooms, I think that's missing in clubs these days. I kind of wish like they had it, like especially if you're going like all night, like rave style, like 6 a.m. Like you don't give a fuck. It's like you kind of want to you want to pace yourself. Yeah. You want to have that pace, and that's the kind of thing with DJing this as well. If you have even like an hour set, you kind of want to place yourself in the mood and kind of like carry yourself in a certain way with your music.
I just try to have high energy, man.
High energy?
Straight up. High energy, dancing, bobbing your head, getting into your own stuff.
With the stuff that I'm listening to now, I'm listening to more like mellow kind of stuff. Like just to start out, like maybe like I don't know, the first 15 minutes of a set, just have me playing like some mellow kind of stuff. Just kind of like get you ready, get you warmed up for like all the high energy shit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I love it all. I love all music.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever like heard of like any DJ like just playing like mellow, minimal kind of stuff, like locally?
Yeah, locally, no.
Yeah, okay.
Not to where I am right now, but in Philly, yes. DC, Baltimore, yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Like I want to hear that sound. Like I want to hear like just like the mellow. Like I'm not trying to grab a drink at the bar. I'm not trying to dance my ass off, but I just want to listen like casually. You know what I mean? Just like. Meet with a buddy and just kind of relax.
Honestly,
maybe that might be the new thing. Well, we'll see. Like, it's like with music, it's like it has their day. I guess grunge had their period. And it kind of comes and goes. It's like what our society is like and how it's reflective in the moment.
For sure. For me, man, high energy music. Bass house.
Yep, bass house.
House in general, yeah. I love it all.
There's so many different genres of house. There's fucking bass house. There's house. There's tech house.
Tropical house.
Like you could put any word in front of. You could put any word in front of house, and that could be a genre like jailhouse. I'm gonna make this new genre. It's called jailhouse. Yeah, how do you like that?
Fidget house.
Jag house. Coffee house. Kozii house.
Kozii house. Hey, let's get it. Kozii wubs.
Bar house.
Bar house.
I think if you learn anything from today, it's going to be bar house.
The bar house.
But, Cody, let me check what time is it. I think we've been on the air for like an hour and 18 minutes. Buck 15. So, yeah, Buck 18. So, I think we'll call it right now. It's like 10:05. I got work. Well, I may have work, but I know I got to wake up early to school in the morning. So, Kozii, let's wrap this thing up. Do you have any shout-outs? Do you have any... anybody you want to thank?
Let me pull up my big old scroll here.
Yep.
All right, man. Shout out
to the floor. Yep. That shit was.
Oh my god, it keeps going. It's still going. It's here out there. No, shout out to you first of all for having this whole.
Appreciate
this is
it.
awesome, man. Shake your hand. I appreciate
Thank you,
this.
sir.
Dude, shout out. My family, my mom, dad, little brother next door that's been listening to this whole thing, you know. Everybody that's killing it. To my big brother for the inspiration, of course. All my family and my friends definitely too. You know, everybody's been pushing real hard and like helped me push. And I want to say shout out to probably
push it to the limit.
Biggest things, dude. Like right now, I work at a few different jobs, but shout out to Darden for being a great restaurant for teaching you good philosophies and cooking and food in general and serving and being a good manager, you know. And that's important for business, you know.
Is that your role now as a manager?
Yeah, like as a manager. Shit. Well, to teach you ultimate. Their philosophies they teach you as a server are manager philosophies. You know?
Okay,
They're not like in general. They teach you the great things. But besides that, man, you know, shout out to We Are Nuts for coming overseas next week. Can't wait for that, dude. Shout out to Impulse Collective for keeping it real with freaking Hyperfest. Shout out to Curvis Collective for the shirt that I'm wearing. We love you. I love you. You Taylor, that's which is Marble L. You know, Marble is his way, but Taylor, that's and Emily, both owners of them. And shout out to, you know, Reboot Philly. Let's go. Those are the shout outs I want to say. Definitely. Love you all.
Gotcha. I guess that'll be the conclusion for episode 1 of Xclude with DJ Xclude here, Eric Bosquez, and to my right again, Kozii. Thank you for coming on for my first ever episode.
I appreciate it.
Next time I'll be more prepared. We'll do this again sometime, and hope we'll just keep the ball rolling. Next episode, maybe I'll be at Golf and Social, and for anybody who kind of wants to do like a interviewing for like an hour or so, I'll be there. I'm gonna whip up all my equipment, but we'll see what happens. This is only episode 1. It's still very, very, very early in the game. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna take this thing.
Fresh in the mix.
But as long as people have something to say, and as long as that person is someone whom I'm interested in, who I feel, whose word is whose word is something to be said and something to be heard, I'll definitely keep my ear out as well as my eye out. And yeah, we'll see where this thing goes. I'm DJ Xclude. This is Kozii to my right. We gotta head out. We got work. We got normal shit to do.
Beats to go
later.
On.
Peace.
See you guys.
They know what is house, but they don't know what is house. Everybody shout. This is house. They know what is house, but they don't know what is house. Everybody shout. This is house. They know what is house, but they don't know what is house. Everybody shout. This is house. They know what is house, but they don't know what is house. Everybody shout. This is house.
I don't really even know where to begin, or even really what to do, because no matter what I do, every time I get ahead, it's like I go back. So for right now, I'm just gonna let this one ride. That's the sound. You know what I mean? The frequency.